stabbed nearly to death.
Okay, there's an interlude.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I rolled a really good
Yeah.
initiative. That
And
saved
we'll,
me.
that was what was on the other day.
Yeah.
I got that
that was on-
notification.
Is
but I
that
didn't
2
know what it was.
HP?
Yeah.
Like holding my guns.
Man, I'll have to go back and watch that and fill in
Yeah.
some gaps. But I'm glad I didn't because now I won't be able to medicate.
Yeah.
No
No,
spoilers.
it'll
No
work
spoilies
out.
for this boy.
Well,
By the way, Julie,
I may
good
need
job
to.
so far.
Huh?
Creating life and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work.
It's
The
mostly
real life
just
magic.
I shove food in my mouth
Yeah.
and get tired a lot.
Yeah, I do that too. It's good life. It's good living.
But you're not creating life.
At a cellular level.
Yeah, at a cellular level.
Yeah.
He's got more muscle cells than he had this time a year ago, so...
I have several food babies.
My gains are just
Food
gonna make me feel real
babies.
fat.
No. Okay. Okay, so...
Laugh and cough.
I know. Let me take some of my cough medicine. All right. Well, so I guess I have to do at least somewhat of a recap for the secret sidebar, unless I just tell everybody
Oh
to
yeah,
go to
we forgot to
YouTube
play that beforehand.
and watch. Yeah, but I think it would.
Should I stick my fingers in my ears and go da 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 da?
No, I'll keep it light.
I could.
So, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Arragas City of Dreams. I am Sean Dixon, the bearded foe.
Sorry.
I thought you were trying to get me to wave. I was like,
As always, our intrepid band of heroes, the focus of all of our fan love, the stars of the show are with me. And tonight we've got all 5. So the stars have aligned, as it turns out.
we can now summon Captain Planet.
That's true, yeah.
He's our hero.
Okay, so
Down to 0.
what we were talking about just a little bit earlier is we had, so on last week's episode, Makaria, Arister, and Kethra were on the sandy floor of Grimnir's theater battling it out with members of Thunderstone under the auspices that they would be settling their grievances once and for all. And in the meantime, Liliana was off remembering the elven dead at Stone Cairn, which is the druid, basically holy ground. It's a very sacred spot to them, and it was the site of a battle. And Vesper Preslin was in the stands, basically trying to hype up the crowd and use this as almost a marketing opportunity to sort of get more awareness for Sable Guard and look how competent they are in the battlefield. You should hire us, like that kind of thing. And what I was going to do originally was I was going to start this week's episode with just sort of a description, just like a hand wave description of what went on. But after discussing with my crack team of drama writers and my one comedy writer that I let out of the closet every once in a while, we decided that it would actually be much better if we had a sidebar episode and showed what went on. And so that is what aired Monday. I apologize for the fact that we did not advertise it anywhere. And the reason that is true is because we really didn't know until the very last minute if we were going to be able to do it. So that's what we did. So for those of you that got a notification from Twitch on Monday night, that is the episode that was airing. It is currently available on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. It is Season 1, Episode 21A, The Stabbing and the Regent is the name of the secret sidebar episode. We will be making reference to that episode tonight, and I will do my best to sort of bring it in without spoiling it for anyone who has not yet watched. Okay, so where we left off last week, Liliana was away. It's about mid-afternoon on the third Luna day of the Lover's Moon. It's about mid-afternoon. Our heroes that were fighting in Grimnir's theater, they finished the fight with a resounding victory that they now suspect was only a distraction so that Thunderstone and the rest of his gang could do something untoward to their guildmate Vesper Preslin, who was in the stands. At the end of that fight, they noticed that Vesper was missing, as was the lion's share of the Thunderstone audience. When they went looking for Vesper, they found someone cleaning up a blood stain and rumors that an elf had been viciously stabbed and attacked before disappearing. So they tracked down. They went to back to the Thunderstone area, which is a township called Longdale within the Arragas city limits. And they asked around, and they finally got a lead that Thunderstone's men typically frequent a place called the Copper Kettle. So they have perched up at the Copper Kettle along with their two other guildmates, Alizarin, Fisk, and Pasha. And they are basically just waiting for someone from Thunderstone to show up so that they can confront them and find out what has happened to their guildmate, Vesper Preslin. Okay, so we will start with Vesper Preslin. Vesper, you make it back to the Sableguard Guild House with some time left on your invisibility spell. Although it is difficult to concentrate on the invisibility through the pain. But you've managed it, and you're in the guild house, and you're basically sort of sitting against the wall, as tiny as you can make yourself, waiting for anyone to show up who can help you. You have no idea if your friends are done in Grimnir's theater or where they are. After a few moments, we'll say after about 10 minutes, the front door to Sableguard opens, and in the silhouette of the sunlight that comes through, you see this hulking, muscular form. Probably, in your estimation, the size and rough shape of Thunderstone himself, or possibly the big guy that was down on the field that your friends may or may not have dispatched. Your eyes sort of get used to the sunlight. You know, I mean, everything's dark inside. You haven't lit any chandeliers or any candles or anything like that. And the figure approaches, and when the door closes and your eyes readjust to the darkness, it's Babbo. Three Fingers, and
I was way wrong on that.
Yeah, he's looking good. You know, you've gotten used to seeing Babbo nursing a hangover, and so you can't tell if he's less hungover today or if he's just getting better at being a functional drunk.
Okay.
But he comes in, you know, and he's got a few things or whatever, and he sort of throws it onto the platform that works as both a bed pallet and a couch, as it were, for right now. Makes his way over to the bar, rifles through the cabinetry a little bit. Discovers, as most of you do, that there's nothing left there. It's pretty much empty. He curses to himself and sort of stretches a little bit, and then walks back over to his pack and looks like he's basically putting everything back on to go out somewhere and get a drink. Are you going to let him? Are you going to reach out to him as your guildmate, or are you going to let him move on and wait? Are you going to wait for greener pastures, as it were?
I think I'll when he's getting his pack together,
Mm-hmm.
I'll approach him, and then right as he turns around, I'll stop concentrating on invisibility.
So you're planning to pop into existence right behind a possibly drunk Babbo.
It's not behind, in front of. When he turns around.
When he's turning around,
Yeah.
I go,
This
Babbo!
might be just a little bit of a
I'm
tangent,
excited.
but we should probably seriously discuss substance abuse counseling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the guild hall, like as
Do
part
you
of guild
still
membership.
have just 2 hit points when you do that?
I have 7, so I'm still bloody. Very bloody.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just saying, when you get like smacked in the face,
It's covered in blood.
Oh.
Ow.
Babo!
Yeah. All right. So he turns around, and you startle him, and he instantly has his left hand on your neck and his right hand ready to punch.
It's only like half a hand, though.
And then
So it's-
no. He's got the three fingers on your neck. He's got the crab claw on your neck. The mallet that he's about to try to push through your skull has got all four knuckles,
Okay.
all lined up in a like pre-mades in a row.
Me.
Yeah,
Vesper.
and he kind of blinks for a second, and he lets you go immediately. And he's like, "Oh, Vesper, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. Wow, you look horrible. What happened? Is that your blood?
Yes, mainly.
Mainly?
Okay, it is.
Are you okay?
The Thunderstone brawl did not go as planned.
Oh no, is everybody
They
else
jumped
okay?
me in the stands.
Oh, you weren't on the floor fighting?
No, I was in the stands and I was trying to get the crowd worked up.
Yeah.
Saw Baron Vortigern. And
I don't know who that is.
Really?
I mean, he sounds important. If you're talking about him, he must be somebody.
Get more culture.
Why? I didn't punch you in
I
the
worry.
face.
I worry about.
I'm beginning to regret my decision. All right, is everybody else okay?
I honestly don't know. I escaped just barely with my life.
Well, that's terrible. Gosh, I wish I'd have gone with you guys now. Maybe I could have protected you
Yeah.
in the stand, but most likely I'd have been down fighting with because it's less cowardly that way. But who knows? I mean, maybe I would have been in the stands. I don't know. Well, geez, do you need a doctor or anything?
Probably.
Hey, hold on. And so he sets his bag down, right, and he starts rifling through it. And you see him pull out like this goblet that's shaped like a breast with so when you hold it like a wine goblet, the stem comes down between, but it looks like you're holding a booby in your hand.
Okay.
Right, and he sets that down. And he's flipping through, and he pulls out this scarf, and you immediately catch the perfume off of the scarf, right? Like it's a strong eau de toilette.
Okay.
Okay. And he looks at the scarf, and he kind of smiles or whatever, and then he sets that down, and then you see him pull out a linen bandage.
Okay.
It's about this long.
It looks sterile-ish.
No.
Oh.
There are 2 or 3 different stains on there that you cannot identify. Most of them are green. Anyway, he turns around and he's like, here, let's put this on your worst wound. And he starts examining your body. Hold on, allow me to make a medicine check for Baba, please. I never envisioned I would get to this far.
Roll tide.
Yeah, so he can't determine which wound is the worst.
Okay.
Feel free to run at any point in time.
Hey, Babo, I think I'm going to start turning away. Limping off.
Well, look. I admit I don't know a lot about bandages and medicines.
No.
But my dad.
You said that you need a doctor. If I needed a doctor and
Right, and you said no, so I thought that meant anybody would do.
No. I said yeah. I said probably, but.
Oh, is that what you said? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Are you hungry? Because my dad says that there's no ailment that a full belly can't fix other than diarrhea.
No. I'm actually quite full of crispy critter from the concession.
Oh yeah, I've had
Grimnir's
it.
Theater.
Well, listen, I'm hungry, and I'm gonna go get the best bowl of stew in all of Arragas, and I think you should come with me because it's probably not safe for you to be alone.
Sure.
And I'll protect you.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, here, hold this, and he gives you the linen bandage.
Yeah,
And then he
go,
puts,
I'll put that away, and then I just kind of...
He puts the cup back. You drop it? He doesn't notice. He puts the cup back into his satchel, and he takes the scarf, and he smells it, and throws it back in the satchel, and cinches everything up, throws it over his shoulder, grabs his big old pitchfork, which looks like it's seen many years of use. Like, you don't understand why he carries this around anymore. You guys are certainly making enough money that he could buy, like, a newer pitchfork that doesn't look like it's 400 years old. Anyway, he turns around and he says, "Hey, have you ever tried a penitent man? What's called a penitent man? You kneel down. It's great. You kneel down in front of the prostitute and you put your hand like this, right?
So,
and it's real important because during a specific moment of the chant, you flip it like this.
We
and
don't have time.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Forget it. We can go through more of it later.
Good.
All right. So let's go. Let's go get some food, and then we'll find you a doctor. But first, big bowl of stew.
So what do you guys think about guild standard of conduct, maybe as well, along with mandatory conduct?
Yeah, this is all entertainment.
It's
Yeah.
it's a lot to take in at first.
As long as he's not hurting anyone. All right. So
we need to
Everybody's
hire
got their
human
own-
resources personnel.
Yeah.
Don't you yuck his yum.
so he begins.
I would never yuck a yum.
Gross. So he begins walking you through the city, and he starts telling you about this place called the Copper Kettle, which has been around forever, but is actually not very well known unless you don't have a lot of money to spend, like him.
Okay.
But they got the best bowl of stew in all of Arragas, and it's cheap, and it fills you up, and it's always hot.
That's your other people's opinion?
No, it's my opinion too. I've had lots of stew. It's a good hangover cure.
Oh, okay.
Don't
It's
forget
hearty.
you can roll hit dice too on a short rest.
It's hearty. Let's go. And there's bound to be a doctor there. I mean, it's really good
I would
stew.
imagine doctors like stew.
Yeah, let's go. I'll tell you more about the penitent man on the way. All right, so you guys head out. Liliana, you change into, you take form of horse.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
you head back to,
Trot my way back to town.
because you're really excited.
I don't have any coconuts.
I know, that's too bad. I'll have to come up with something.
Yeah, that works.
Anyway, and the whole time you're running, you're just like filling your mind with visions of all the cool things you're going to do now that you have a powerful staff. Oranthalos gifted you that staff, and you knew what it was immediately.
I'm actually cycling between like, oh my god, this is so cool! I can do such cool stuff, and holy crap, I'm regent.
Yeah, you're the regent. Yeah, you are in charge of Holly Branch now, entirely. Until
Oh, and every now and again, Axel looked really good.
no, really? No, I didn't realize we were role playing that aspect of Axel's physique.
He got bigger.
He did get bigger. He was physically taller and more muscular than almost every other elf that was at the ceremony.
Did they say what elven product caused the height increase?
They did not mention
I'd
that.
like to give me some hands on that.
Yeah, they did not mention that. You've seen Oranthalos
Oh boy.
cast all kinds of spells. You've seen Oranthalos bring trees to life with this staff. You've seen Oranthalos summon up the very ground to harm his enemies with like walls of thorny brambles and stuff like that. Like, you're just super excited, and you can't wait to figure out how to get this staff.
I want a tree
the holly.
friend so bad.
It's the holly staff of the Doyer. Okay, so Doyer is the official, or Doyen, I'm sorry, is the official term for the head of a branch. Okay, so you can expect people to actually refer to you as Doyen while you are holding it at official functions and stuff. Before you get back to Arragas, you change into form of Liliana, or form of panther, or form of weasel.
Horse is pretty cool.
So you're just gonna be an unbridled, unsaddled horse just galloping right through the front gates of Arragas, huh?
When I get to Arragas, I'll change back to me.
We've had a request. We've had a request.
To get a recap.
A recap of Monday's mini episode. Yeah. In a nutshell, Vesper got jumped at
I saw Baron Vortigern.
Yeah, but that's... Okay, yeah. So
Like
Vesper saw Baron Vortigern, which is a person that he is supposed to be gathering information on, and for both professional and personal reasons. He believes that Baron Vortigern is tied to the Chaos conspiracy that all of our heroes believe is brewing inside Arragas. And while he was following Baron Vortigern, he did manage to get some useful information, some very important information, as a matter of fact. But then he was jumped by several members of the Thunderstone gang who surrounded him Caesar style and then stabbed him Ides of March style.
So he had 2 hit points left.
And they almost killed him in the first round of combat, but he was able to effectively teleport away and then turn invisible. So they lost his trail, and then they left before Millipole or any of the Grimnir's theater employees could really respond to the attack. Liliana was out at Stonecairn. She met with a bunch of people. She found out that a lot of people now may have a lower opinion of her, and that there are rumors of betrayal and corruption surrounding her name. And Orenthalos met with some of the other elders of the Druid circles, had some sort of falling out, and then basically called everyone's attention to him, made the announcement that he had to go on a long journey, and that in his absence, Liliana would act as regent of the Holly Branch, basically meaning she is the acting doyen while he's gone, and he handed her the Holly Branch quarterstaff, which is the symbol of office for the head of the Holly Branch. He then turned into a falcon.
Well, not an owl.
Grabbed up. No, he didn't do the owl. He wanted some speed. He wanted badass speed. And then he grabbed up his apprentice, his Holly Branch apprentice, who had turned herself into a ferret, and they flew off together, leaving Liliana standing in the middle of basically every other druid of the realm, who were all a mixture of shocked and offended that she had been given so much political power, apparently against the wishes of some of the other elders. That is what Liliana believes the spat was about.
Oh, and I also ran into my old homie.
Yeah, she also ran into her childhood friend Axel, who was part of the Oak Branch. And he had undergone some positive physical changes that Liliana was immediately aware of, and up until now I didn't realize also slightly attracted to. Okay, so
You don't have a lot of options in the druiding world, okay?
Yeah,
Apparently, they're all dead because of the whole...
Oh, we're just friends from a long
thing.
time. I'm just proud of him for getting much.
yeah, a lot of people died 9 years ago.
Nine years ago, all the eligible bachelors got crushed by a dragon.
Oh, and I also gave him a chunk of moonstone and told him to not believe everything he hears about me. And that's pretty much it.
He's gonna bring that thing back, fashioned into a ring, or like a necklace or something.
I doubt
That'd
it.
be cool.
That'd be dope.
He's more the roar,
Oh,
I'll kill you type, not the
Yeah, he likes
would
to-
you make a ring?
He likes to change into
he likes
animals.
to go murdering. Man, maybe I should hang out with this
You
guy.
probably. Why don't you make
They'll probably get
Why don't you make a
along.
wisdom or make a religion check,
Ooh,
Arister?
Do I have
You might
religion?
know,
I don't.
and actually, Kethra might know this too.
I got a critical 20.
You got a critical 20.
I did.
Oh, you
Good
did.
job.
Dang,
Okay.
you know about it so.
Yeah. Apparently, I know
Oh my God,
more
I
about
got
druids than I ever cared to know.
Did you guys both roll 20s?
Yeah, we both rolled 20.
Okay.
I know
So-
so much about druids, you guys.
Yeah, you guys
This
don't
is
know.
what y'all get for sleeping in the same room with me when we go
Yeah.
on travels, and
Yeah.
I just
Like
druid
talk
bites.
out loud.
All of her
about
talking
it.
has
Yeah.
started to sink in. You guys know that so from a religious standpoint, elves believe in reincarnation.
Yeah.
So they don't hold killing to be as high of a sin or what have you as other races do, because they believe that when you kill somebody, they just get reincarnated and come back, and hopefully they'll come back as something better and make better choices and grow. You're basically just hitting the reset button. The oak branch of the druids takes that analogy a little further, and they actively prune the garden for stunted growth and bad growth and corrupted growth. And so you guys both would know that oak branch druids, if they think you're evil or you're not contributing in a positive way to the world or the society, they will not hesitate to remove you and reset you.
I'm liking it.
Yeah, the oak
This guy
branch
sounds better
druids
and better.
are somewhat militant, and they of all the druids, they have the least compunction about just killing someone because you're not worth allowing to live, kind of a thing.
Don't worry, Liliana.
Yeah.
I won't steal your murder buddy. I already have a murder buddy, and it's that Grimnir Paladin girl.
I
Yeah,
disagree
Sidika-
with
Sidika
Murder
Blacktown.
Buddy's philosophy.
Huh?
But
Yeah,
it
she
looks
disagrees.
nice.
That's one of the things that her and Axel
Very
bicker
cool.
about.
Very nice.
One day, me and my girl are gonna go murdering together. It's gonna be great.
Well, just don't become
That's
paralyzed.
You should be real
because then
careful,
you won't be
'cause, like-
contributing, and so you get
Right, okay.
We're a kind of a druid assassin.
Yeah, they would actually even see that probably as a mercy.
right.
Like, hey, you can't really do much
like
more.
humans.
I'd be like, give me
Why don't we
8
just-
hours and I will cure myself.
Yeah,
Give me 8 hours.
yeah,
We'll give you a whole another lifetime.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lifetime of 8-hour
If,
stretches.
if you see like a real big animal coming after you, I forget what I said his thing was.
Axel?
Yeah, when he's in animal form, how do you recognize an animal?
Well, he mostly changes into bears.
Does he have a mohawk when he's a bear?
Like a purple one.
No?
That's so great.
That would be cool.
Okay, so
Just run away.
anyway,
Fair enough.
while you are walking back towards basically Sable Guard, you're just going to go check in with everybody. You see Vesper and Babbo walking down the street, and Vesper is, I don't want to say he's covered in blood because most of the bleeding has probably stopped at this point, but his clothes, he looks like he fell into like a saber cat pit with 3 hungry saber cats and 24 hungry cubs.
I'm gonna come over like a concerned mom and like feel his forehead. What is wrong with you?
We're
And
getting
I cast
stew.
cure wounds.
We're just getting stew. It's
You look
supposedly
like-
good.
You look like crap. Okay. And D8. Where are you?
You have your hand right over top of it, or you did.
Oh, this is one, right?
That's a die 10.
Oops.
This is a die 8.
Double there. 3 plus. That's 11 points.
Oh, right.
I think. Oh wait, no. That's not right.
It's gonna be
D8 plus
3
your
plus your
spell
wisdom.
casting
Yeah.
ability modifier. So 7 points.
Oh, that's-
Gain 7.
7.
Okay, are you still bloodied?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My
So-
my lip reattaches to the
Yeah.
essentially.
So you cast magic on him, and you see several of his wounds stitch up. And Babbo says, "Oh yeah, and I also." And he starts looking Vesper over. He's like, I gave Vesper a bandage to use. I don't see it.
Yeah, this isn't gonna do it. This is like
I'm no doctor.
infection time. So
Infection.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's cool. I got it.
My grandma got an infection. They had to cut her leg off below the knee.
All right.
Did she use your bandage?
No.
Take another 11 hit points.
We threw those bandages away. They're unlucky.
I should say so.
Thanks, Catherine. Plus 10,000 XP.
Are you looking better?
Yes, I am no longer bloody.
Okay. Let's get you some stew. Stew sounds good, right? And Babbo. Yeah.
Yeah, Babbo's going on and on about getting the stew.
If they were lucky, would he keep them and then maybe enchant them to be +1 used bandages?
Used bandages?
Yeah.
Well, Babbo doesn't have any way to enchant them.
Man, that would be awesome.
He is unable to enchant them.
But they don't self-clean; they're just reusable.
I can repair the holes, and he can clean them up. But we don't care that much, so we're not going to. Let's go get a drink. I've got a crazy freaking story to tell you.
Sound good?
Okay, Babbo's like, I know just the place. And so you guys all start walking together. Mm-hmm. Okay, meanwhile, at the Copper Kettle, you guys have been there for probably an hour and a half, maybe almost 2 hours now. And no one from Thunderstone has come in.
Okay.
Remember that Alizarin is there with you, Pasha's there with you. Alizarin takes the initiative to sort of canvass the crowd. Like she goes around and, hey, have you seen anybody? Or, hey, I'm looking for, blah, 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 or whatever. And she comes back and she says that nobody in the place has seen any Thunderstone people all day. But that doesn't surprise you guys because in the morning, you guys met at Grimnir's Theater to have a rigmarole. Yeah. So you guys basically just keep waiting. So the three of you, I'll have the three of you make perception checks for me, to just sort of overhear what people are talking about. You knew too much about druids.
I knew way too much. I got that 20 right out of the way.
I got 14.
Okay, good.
17.
Okay, very good. All right, so
Well, I got an 11.
that's all right.
That's just okay.
Yeah, it's just okay.
It's no 14.
It's no 14. Yeah. Okay, so you guys hear a bunch of different things. You hear some talk about how there's rumors that they've lost Fort Murdo to a bunch of goblins or some such, and that there's fighting at Fort Prescio, and people are basically saying things like, I'm glad I'm not there, and I hope this doesn't turn into another, Battle of the Boneyard, and we can't afford to lose any more people, we're still recovering, that kind of thing. You hear some stuff about how Seraphe, which is the younger daughter, Kalaya is the heir apparent to Arragas' throne. Seraphe is the younger princess. How she has been going around and helping people and helping to rebuild, and she keeps visiting all these places, and that there are rumors that she is planning on making a royal visit out to Fort Prescio and the Watanga mining complex in order to sort of bolster the troops. And lastly, you hear some guys who are being very loud about it. They're laughing and having a good time. They're talking about how the saffron hare has struck again, right? And you guys remember the saffron hare is this cat burglar that hasn't been caught, and he keeps leaving these little yellow origami rabbits wherever he's stolen, you find a little yellow paper rabbit that's been folded in the place of the thing, and that's his calling card, right? Like that's how they know it's the saffron hare. Apparently this time he stole an entire coach, like horses and all. Like he stole the whole thing from some wealthy senator's estate. And it has disappeared, and nobody knows. I mean, it's like one of these ostentatious things with all sorts of gilding and like jewels on the door handles and things like that. So it's not like you could just drive it over here and sell it or whatever. Like, it's just gone, right? Like the saffron hare has gotten away with this big, huge thing that anyone would be able to see driving down the streets, you know. So everyone's laughing about it and talking about how stupid rich people are, and all you have to do is, all you'd have to do is change, you know, 2 of the colors, and they wouldn't know their, you know, ass from a hole in the ground, and all this other stuff. But you guys hear about the saffron hair again, and after a few moments, you see Babbo and Vesper and Liliana.
I throw my... Okay.
Look out! They come
I
in.
need to rebuy my net.
And remember, you guys are...
I keep forgetting to do that. Put that on the agenda.
Yeah, rebuy net. Buy new net. You guys are up in the arcade, so you can see down into the main floor. Man,
Okay.
this is killing me.
So I obviously notice Vesper's big bloody mess.
Oh yeah,
Has
absolutely. Yeah,
has he cleaned
everyone
himself?
notices the
A little
room.
bit.
Okay.
I
The room.
killed him.
The
Well, yeah.
It's not
clangor.
bloody anymore.
Is
The
all
clangor of the room
exposed stuff?
dims a little
That's
when
upsetting.
he walks in because almost everybody
But
notices
his
that he's a
health
big
is
old
back
bloody
up to
mess.
full. You're
I
No,
can't
no. I'm still,
Yeah, he's still limping and holding his
but
side
I'm not bloody.
and squinting. You know, he grimaces when he.
I'll fix
steps
it
on
in
his
the
right
lips of
foot.
Your clothes if you want to clean yourself up. I mean, I know you don't like going to eat in public.
Oh yeah.
looking
By the
rough
way,
and-
this is
We're
exactly
excited.
what you feared. Like Babbo basically took you to the place where the most common denominator of the common denominator come to eat.
I'll put a hanky in the stool.
Yeah.
The bar stool.
You're pretty sure you can smell every farm that's represented in this room.
Yeah.
Like you're just like, oh.
All right. Well, I will go down there and join my compatriots.
Okay.
I will wave everybody else from their obviously hiding, waiting to ambush people.
Oh, I was not hiding. I was just
Yeah.
sitting up there eating stew.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to assume
Just
that
standing
you were
crouched
ready
on the
for-
bar, like.
We were. I just in my
Surprise!
head. We were ready to go A team on whoever walked through the door. But I'm going to suspend my disbelief and then head downstairs.
Okay.
And you all will notice that Liliana is awkwardly carrying this very jingly jangly staff and like doesn't quite know.
What does the staff look like?
Oh, it's super important looking.
Yeah, it's
I mean, is it like 6
Covered
feet
in-
tall?
Yeah,
Is it like,
it's
I think
taller
that's
than
what
her.
it
6
looks
feet
like.
tall, and it's got like branches with holly coming off of it and little like crescent.
Are they animated? Like there's continuous branches of little
I mean,
holly
if you were to
petals?
rip it
That'd
off,
be
it would
cool.
probably immediately grow back.
Is
Yeah,
it, is it like
it
there's
basically,
like a
it
slight
basically
breeze
twists
all
up.
the
It looks
time?
like it was carved from a single piece of a tree, probably a branch. And at the top, there's a whole bunch. It splays out like a whole bunch of little tiny branches, and then there's like a big crescent area that holds a tiny golden bell
Oh, cool.
in the middle, and the whole thing is just covered in holly.
Yeah, and I'm like I'm afraid to like sit down and lean it on anything. I'm like, but if I put it in my lap, it like offends people to the left and the right for like 4 feet. So I'm like putting it between my legs and just like uncomfortably.
Yeah, you can tell she has not yet figured out how to properly wield it in social environments. Yeah,
Yeah, the
Such
other
a
one's like
pro.
on my back. You know, like my normal walking stick that I use,
right.
my quarterstaff.
So yeah, so Liliana's carrying an amazingly ornate quarterstaff. Vesper is bloodied from head to toe.
No, he's not.
Babbo,
His clothes are.
Yeah, closer.
Close.
yeah. Babbo looks pretty much like Babbo.
Babel's looking good.
He's fine. He's carrying everything he owns in a satchel on his shoulder.
Welcome
Pitchfork.
back.
He's like, hey, thanks.
Vesper, you are not dead or kidnapped.
Yes.
I healed him. He was almost dead.
Oh.
I missed, I guess, the last portion of the duel.
Yeah, we figured that out
Did you
pretty quick.
come out victorious, or?
We did win, in fact.
Okay.
Then we went looking for you, and I was planning on
I followed Baron
ending
Gordon.
some lives here.
Well, it's good that we reunited.
Is it? Are you?
Okay.
What happened?
I followed Baron Vortigern.
He was at the arena watching the fights?
Yes. And he went and talked to the gentleman that we helped out on one of our first missions, the Ramiel Krupal.
I
One
remember
that got us
that
in
guy.
trouble with these guys in the first place.
I remember
The
that
one-
guy, that merchant.
Yes, and I was able to overhear that Vortigern was requesting that he needs 2 more, like, essentially virgins, like he was speaking about at the wedding.
You know what?
Virgins.
Versions.
And Ramiel said, well, the orphanage is always...
He's going to be
Prepared to
kidnapping
help.
orphans?
I assume so.
The lady that she had a baby.
Yes, during our first mission, he went to that lady's house that had the
That's
baby up in
right.
Endless Point. So,
Is he selling babies?
Pinless Point, which is a particularly
If he is
We'll say
selling
particularly
babies,
hard.
we will have to put
Yeah.
a stop to that immediately.
that's the place that got hit the worst with...
And if he wants virgins, is he like doing evil stuff?
There is no reason to
I mean-
maintain access to a virgin for
Selling
anything
babies.
other than nefarious purposes. I'm going to say that right now.
That's probably true. But I mean, is there like
dang it, this root beer just doesn't stay fuzzy long enough. We need more virgins to work in the mill.
If you dig down deep enough to the bottom of any foul conspiracy, you will find a virgin.
That's not very progressive.
Yeah, Babbo chimes in with, well, the solution to that seems obvious.
What?
No.
Yeah, the
Wait,
issue there
what?
is no one wants to deflower a obese hairy man.
No. When you say man, he lowers his hands.
So,
I don't know, but yeah,
I
probably
was-
stealing babies is bad no matter what you're stealing.
Right, we need to stop that.
yeah.
I'm glad you're alive. However, I think first we need to probably stop Thunderstone from attacking us. You in particular.
Yeah, I did make a good escape.
I mean, it's not like I'm seeking vengeance or anything, but
I mean, if we surround
A
the leader and just
preemptive
say, like,
attack.
are you done? I would imagine things haven't gone well for them.
I
so
mean,
far.
I will say I got in several cutting remarks while it was happening.
I just think stabbing him
While
near to
my
death
wounds
would
will
be
heal.
a good.
Their
Being
wounds
ravaged
will
by the
last
blades.
a lifetime.
We just seem to have more important things to deal with. I mean, especially
You know,
me.
that's fair. Actually, that's fair. Like, that's fair.
Oh, if you guys see any crazy druids around, let me know.
I thought they all died. Weren't you just there for that? I'm sorry, where did you go?
That
The druid cook-off.
The annual pie taste.
Okay,
Nice,
TLDR.
nice stick, by the way.
I'm head of the Holly Branch for the moment.
What?
Yeah, you, Catherine, you know that
What?
immediately what that means. You're like, from a
What?
political standpoint, you're
That's awesome.
That does sound exceptionally
It
important.
is really, really cool.
That is so. How did that happen?
And really kind of scary because we're not well liked right now. I don't know. Everybody's looking at me all suspicious like. And
Like your branch isn't well liked, or you are not well liked.
Your branch looks great.
Yeah,
It's
that
like
staff
6
looks
feet
awesome.
tall. And
It's quite a fashion statement.
Ding, 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 ding. I mean, yeah, this is the coolest staff ever, but
That's
it
super
comes
cool.
with a lot of responsibility that I really didn't want. But I'm sure Ornthos will explain everything like in a secret meeting somewhere soon.
well, if you're attacked by any of these,
Vesper,
Other
take back 9
druids.
hit points.
Oh.
I healing word you.
rest assured, we will attack them back.
How is your healing word so damn strong?
She's Priestess of Arlo. She's Priestess.
Rolled a 4.
That's how
Plus
priestesses
5
roll.
is 9.
+5?
Hey, I'm full.
Bell, no wait. Yes. No.
No. It's die 4 plus your wisdom, not plus your spell attack.
Hold on, wait.
I, of course,
Nope.
can lay on
Let me
hands.
do that
I
again.
don't have to worry
So
about
it
I
should
don't
be-
need that droopy eye thing.
I'm lying. You only got
Dice.
7, Vesper.
You only got 7.
You only got 7.
I'm still full.
It's okay. I did that too at first.
Okay.
Oh,
That was
that's
good.
your soul and I just goes back.
But I was like, a healing word. That's a D4. I mean,
You're
I
right.
rolled really bad on the cure wounds, but there's no way.
My man. No, I looked at the wrong one. I thought it was spell attack.
It's okay.
that
Yeah,
punctured kidney just
that's
sealed
common
right back
mistake,
at me.
But yeah. So basically, everybody's looking at me all the time. It's like, I think some words got around of maybe some of the crap that's been going on, but they started talking betrayal and I don't know. I got a good friend in at the Oak Branch, and he kind of warned me that people might be giving me the side eye and to watch out. I think he trusts me because I've known him forever. He looks really good now. He got big. But
I'll
he's
take your
really
word
good
for
and
it.
strong.
You haven't seen him, Arister. He could be huge.
I am the pinnacle of human achievement right now at 18.
Oh,
This
he's like
is-
twice your size.
I feel like this
This-
is
wow.
some metagaming right here.
I don't know.
Ben
No.
is coming out in
No.
Arister's
No.
personality.
No.
I mean,
No.
I mean,
Arister
real. He
reacted
was
the
a
exact
mountain
same
boy.
way to Devin.
That's true.
You don't understand. He was a little mountain elf, and we like rescued him out of the mountains when he was a little kid, and we were so best friends. But he got in a lot of trouble because he kept like hitting things and breaking things. So they
I
gave
know
him over to
that
the Oak
feeling.
Branch, and they like trained him to like direct his anger. I hate that guy. But yeah. So
Man, I wish I had someone to teach me that.
but yeah, he was
You
real. He was real
I mean, before
strong
the
and
age
punchy
of
whenever he was a
27 or
little boy.
whenever I joined the Paladin Order.
Anywho, yeah, so I'm the temporary regent of the Holly Branch.
That is awesome, Liliana.
Awesome and scary, but yeah.
Does
That is
that
awesome.
conflict with your duties to the guild at all?
Yes.
Not
Yes,
currently.
Arister, it's going to.
What are my duties to the guild?
Make that money.
Capital?
I mean, it gives me some connections to the other 2 druids in my branch.
Oh, that's
There's only
What are
3
we-
druids in your
what-
branch right now? I thought your branches were bigger
Both
than
of
that.
which flew
I
off.
mean, it is, but only like 3 of us
She
are
just
really
went to their
active
funeral.
at the moment.
Well,
See, the thing about Holly Branch, okay, because we're really, really, we value individuality, and everybody has their own path, so we kind of like, we allow our little sheep to go off and learn about the world, and learn what they want to do in the world. So there's only like 3 of us right now.
Everybody else was
Plus-
burned to death by the dragon.
right.
Hey.
Plus, remember, your mother was
day
instrumental
before the
in
vigil.
holding off
I'm just saying.
the attack, and there
It's
were
probably
lots
like
of
the
Holly
forefront of
Branch
the
druids with
I know,
her
I
because
know.
she was the previous head of the Holly Branch.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
the reason there are currently only 3 is
Recruitment's
because
a
those
little
were the
slow.
survivors, i.e., Ornthalas. She became a Holly,
Well, and their child soldier.
and that's a brand new one.
Yeah.
That's one. That's someone she's never even seen.
I will do my best to stay out of druid politics unless you need my assistance.
yes, please do.
Excellent.
Please don't speak to any druids.
I don't know. This
I really don't
this
like
mountain guy
dragons.
sounds very interesting.
He
I'd like to meet him.
He hurt you.
Maybe we would, do some wrestling up in the mountains. No shirts. We'll see how it
Bad
goes.
idea. Bad idea. I hope you never see him because people that see him usually die.
Get into a
Okay.
wood chopping contest.
We will chop some wood together. I hate trees. It's my advantage. My advantage is I can put all my rage against the trees. and he
I'm the
can't.
one that would cry chopping the trees
not a
down.
dwarf.
He'd be like, whoa.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Anyways. But yeah, upside is I'm like a lot stronger right now because I've got the crazy staff. So
Do you know how to use it?
learning.
Okay.
Right. I can do this.
I mean, I might have to try out a little here. I know what it does. I'm so excited to have my own tree friend.
Well, tree
That sounds so cool.
friend.
Yeah.
Like-
That you could
And there's where we stop.
This sounds more ominous.
I mean, there's two different ways I can be friend with this. I'll show you one of them later.
Well, right now we have to stop a child trafficking ring.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say that would be
Well,
my
I
chief
mean, I can help
priority.
with that too.
Right now, don't
Oh, I
we need
can
to
make
do
a
something
super
about
selfie.
Thunderstone?
I can make a super selfie. Without wasting any of
I am along for the ride. I was brought here for stew.
It's really
great
good.
to
Have you
see-
had it yet? It's delicious.
Yeah.
Really not thank you.
I've
this
had
is
like
my
2 bowls.
ambiance.
Well, Babo brings over
So-
3 bowls of stew.
Oh, good.
He'll actually spring for some stew for Liliana too. And despite the way it looks, it smells pretty good. It smells pretty good. It looks like the sort of slop that the
Nature
poorest of
Fed.
the poor eat.
Can you press
You
the-
know, tons of vegetables in there, a really thick brown broth. But there are chunks of meat in it, and the meat is almost identifiable.
I rolled an 18 on a nature check to identify.
Or maybe
Can
it
I-
was minor illusion.
Yeah,
Okay,
can I minor illusion a 5-foot cube fine dining establishment like around my head? And you're like, like
Sure.
eat.
Sure,
It's gonna be a big 10-4.
sure.
What does that look like to
There's
us?
meat. It doesn't look like anything to you,
Okay.
unless you poke your head into the illusion.
Oh, okay. So we
Which
just
I'm
see like
going
a
to
box.
adjust.
Yeah, which, by the way, your meal is constantly interrupted by Babo and others going, "I'm rich. I'm not. I'm rich. I'm not."
No, I was going to poke my head in and tell you what all the things were.
Okay, so there's beef, pork, chicken. There's at least 3 kinds of fish, but you don't really know how to distinguish that much being a mountain druid. But you know that there's seafood. All of it's good. Like there's nothing rotten or gross or old or weird in there. It's all.
Okay.
It's a solid bowl of stew. It's a
It's not
solid
like
bowl.
Babo's other 2 fingers in there.
No, he lost that in a flood. He
Oh.
saved lives.
Yeah, they just
Why
found
do
it
you
like
keep
a week
bringing that
ago.
up?
I don't know.
Why do you keep bringing that up? Babo's going to get tired of your shit one of these
Because I'm a
days.
smart ass.
And he's going to take the 3 fingers he's got left, he's going to put them in your eyes and your mouth,
And you don't
pull
have,
your head off.
You just should be careful.
You know what
with
he's
your
not
hit
gonna do?
points right
He's not gonna be giving out high fives.
Yeah, not with that hand.
Not with
anyway.
that hand.
Oh, hey, if anybody has any leftovers that you don't want, just like put them, and I'll pull out like a little leather bag. Just put them in this bag, okay?
Leftover stew.
What?
Yeah, you know, bread, stew, anything organic.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
You're starting a compost.
I can't hear you over the harpsichord.
Yeah.
In this corner.
I'm starting a compost pile because I need to make some fertile soil by our.
Just so you know,
It is never too early to reduce, reuse,
the
recycle.
semantic component for your illusion is you have to keep one pinky out at all
I just
times.
really need to enrich the soil.
If I find some food waste, I'll be sure and point it out to you.
Like banana peels would be great.
Okay, so that was our 10-minute
That's
break
right.
alarm.
10-minute break.
Just a few minutes ago. So we'll go ahead and take a 10-minute break. Oh, too much laughing. We'll take a 10-minute break, so get up, stretch your legs, refill your drinks and your popcorn, whatever else you need to do to take care of yourselves and your mental health. And we will return at 9:03. And I'm actually going to take advantage of this because I need to blow my nose.
So then you sit here and talk to the camera.
Yeah. Without seeing any chat.
Without
You
seeing any
can see
chat.
my chair. You can see the chat from the chair.
All right.
Yeah, I'll fill you in on the chat. Babies make good stew. The stew
Babies
2.0.
do make good stew.
Oh god, no!
Heard some sheep.
They make good stew, but not good
Your thoughts?
soil. I
The
need
what?
Your
compost.
thoughts about baby stew?
You know, I haven't had it in a while, and it usually takes a long time to make. So, oh man, this is like Julie's area. How creepy. I just got a little stuck here.
It's like-
Oh, cool. I can read the chat from here.
All disorganized.
Okay, I guess I am fielding questions because I'm the only one sitting in here. If anybody has any interesting questions, otherwise I'm just gonna sit here and stare off into the distance. Heard some sheep. That would be an interesting idea. I have not heard of any sheep in quite some time. All right, cool. Man, I haven't seen all these little doodads. This is very technical. It's a good thing I'm not on the manning the old laptop over here. Things are good. Things are good. We are probably going to have to do the rest of Tabletop Roundup sometime soon. That would be great to finish up. We just had scheduling conflicts a lot, so that's just how it be. Sometimes it'd be like that. So, hey, I'm talking to people.
Good.
People are talking to me.
That's what we need.
Yeah?
That's what we need. Yeah, let me just squeeze past you. You don't even.
Oh, man, guys, that was a rough 30 seconds. You guys tolerated it quite well.
Yeah, Carousel. The reason I didn't want to go too much into the recap was because I knew that Vesper and Liliana would need to apprise.
Got it.
The rest of the party as to what happened, so that's why I didn't want to give away too many details. I wanted to let them recap it from their own.
Yeah, I didn't
memories.
watch it because I didn't want any spoilers.
Right. Yeah.
We can't be handling spoilers here. I should probably get a friend.
Well, you can, yeah. You can sit back down right here beside me if you want.
I'm not sure I can get it back up once I sit down. Oh, God, I'm ready to take a nap.
Yeah. Velizery, good to see you, man. Good to see you. Where's my favorite Duchess LOL? I wonder where she is tonight.
I don't know. I saw her this morning.
I'm gonna give some shout outs real
Probably
quick.
busy.
Oh, you saw her in real life, or you saw her on the Twitch?
I saw her in real life. Up close.
Good. I'm glad that she's doing well. Duchess LOL, for those of you that don't know, is one of our favorite sister Twitchers. She's one of our super fans, and she's also a Twitch caster. Yeah, I don't know. Twitch caster? Twitch sis. Ooh, Twitch. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, she's really good at what she does, and so I highly recommend that you follow her and tune into her show. Also, Tales and Ales is a really good podcast where they play D&D and they review beer. And not to give too much away, but there has been some discussion between myself and the fine sirs and ladies over at Tales and Ales. And I may be actually appearing on their show in the next month or two, so hopefully we'll get it'll be pretty fun. I'll be able to run a quick game for them, kind of a spin-off thing, and get to meet all of them and get to be on their great show. Beard and Brush. I don't know if you're watching. You haven't said much in the chat, but I'd like to give a shout out to Beard and Brush. He's one of the finest figure painters in all of Oklahoma.
B&B.
Yeah, he is the things he does is quite spectacular with figures. So if you were in the greater OKC metro, and even a little farther out, look up Beard and Brush. He's got a website. He's also got a Facebook page. And if you're looking to get some painting tips, he runs little painting seminars, I think every week. And in addition, he does commission work. So if you just feel like you don't have the time or the patience to paint one of your favorite minis, you could talk to him about doing it for you, and you'll really have something to be proud of. And last but certainly not least, I want to give a shout out to Luton XP, the game hub of Norman. It's an excellent family place to bring all of your friends and family and play all kinds of really great games. And they have a really neat environment where basically you're sitting at a dining room table, and they have hundreds and hundreds of games for you to play. And you just pay one low price to play games all day long. They serve food and beverages there. And they have a very friendly and helpful staff that are more nerdy than us, if you can believe it.
It's pretty bad.
It gets there.
Way.
Yeah, they can. Somebody that works at Luton XP will be able to explain the game to you if the rule book is too big.
Yeah, and once upon a time, I had the time and energy to sit down and read an entire rule book for a board game. But those days are long gone.
Yeah, those days are out.
I learn
Yep.
much quicker when somebody sits me down and says, okay, let me explain how to play this board game.
Here's why you do this, and here's how you do it.
Yeah, it's really amazing. Like, you can pick any of those 200 games, and it's like somebody in there knows how to play that.
Yeah, yep.
It's never been.
Yeah, and the owner DC, he knows how to play them all, as far as I know.
And if
that's
he's
just
watching,
one of his things.
he needs to come over and work out right next to the Wooten XP with me sometime. That would be cool.
Yep. Yeah. So I just wanted to give some shout outs to my friends here in and around the Arragas city environs. It's good to help support each other. They certainly support me, help support me. I don't know what I would do without my strong support net of friends and family. Yeah. Well, what do you guys think of the episode so far? We're about to get into a little bit of a scrap here pretty quickly. I see Dusty 2.0 has used an emote that I don't recognize. It looks like a tiny man giving a thumbs up. I don't know who that tiny man is. I can't even with my glasses on, I can't really tell. Bellizery, not enough violence. Yeah, well, we're going to try to amp that up here during the second half of the show for sure. We're going to try to amp it up. Okay, well, we got 2 minutes left. I'm just going to say that really loud for no reason at all. We got 2 minutes.
Monday's episode was very violent, I feel like.
But the first half of Monday's episode was extremely violent. I actually did a little more damage to. I was just trying to scare him. I was just trying to scare Steven. And my goal was to get him to bloodied, and apparently, I even like some of the guys even missed.
Round,
yeah,
I was at 2.
Some of the guys missed, and then thank goodness.
Oh my god! I rolled a 19 or like 20. Dirty 20
on initiatives.
Yeah, that's the only thing that.
Junebug, you need to go out.
Bye, Jim.
You need to go out because we don't trust you anymore.
Calls. No. You're a big girl. So lay down. Oh no, I've got that song stuck in my head.
No. Hope it's a good one.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's a song that's very awkward for me to think about from now on.
Oh. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody.
It's going to bother me what that song is.
We still have
I just said it.
30 seconds or so, but...
Oh, wait, no.
Don't worry about it.
It's going to get stuck in my head if you sing it.
Nothing.
It's actually one of your favorite songs.
Oh, God.
The original.
I won't ruin the song for you. Just. Anywho.
Okay. All right. So you guys basically eat stew.
Do you understand that?
I didn't hear a word of that.
Macaroni and
Tell me
cheese.
later.
Just saying peas and carrots.
Yeah, God.
Peas and carrots.
Peas and carrots.
Actually, I'm traumatized every time I eat that in game now.
Peas and carrots.
They showed up in my stew, and I was just like...
Stop touching you.
All you see is vespers.
How do you like the stew? How do you like the stew?
You saw his face just like slowly pop out. You're like,
But yeah, I am popping my head into your fine dining establishment, being like, this is really good stew. There's pork and chicken and fish, 3 different kinds. And look at the carrot and the potato. And those are river potatoes.
Snake meat.
I like your little restaurant.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot more before you popped your head in here.
Yeah. You said it's a 5-foot radius, right?
5 foot cube. Yeah.
Okay.
My staff
People start
like,
sitting closer to you. Your illusion has had the opposite effect that you desired. You are now receiving tactile sensations that remind you that you are rubbing elbows quite literally with lower functionaries of the caste system that only you enforce.
I think I've had enough stew.
Hey, I healed you.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys basically hang out all day. Eventually,
Does this count as a short rest?
yes. So anyone who wants to take advantage of a short rest may do so.
Okay, done.
Where do I get back from short rest?
I have no idea.
You can do hit dice, and for Liliana, that it gives her enough time to attune herself fully to the Holly Branch Staff of the Doyen, which means now she knows how to unlock all of its powers. Like she basically played with it for an hour and a half, like
and I just gained
whispering to it and
use my natural recovery.
The best staff ever.
okay. And you guys keep waiting. You keep waiting for either somebody from Thunderstone to show up or somebody who knows something about Thunderstone to show up. Babbo is the first one to get bored, and it's also coincidentally once the sun goes down, he's like, "Well, I got things to do."
What do you have to do, Babbo?
Errands,
Like,
it's official business,
Do you want me to entertain him?
dude.
but
Do you want
Liliana, are you sure?
I can entertain him.
Oh,
I don't want him to
Okay,
be
I'll give it a try.
I will.
intoxicated.
I will
I think-
make a picture
The two of you have different ideas about entertainment.
of
Definition.
a sexy dwarf. It's not really a sexy dwarf. It's what Liliana thinks a sexy dwarf would look like. She looks a little bearded, a little like I'm trying to make it as
A little broken back. What?
yeah, just a little broken back. Like the pose is just a little bit
Okay.
awkward.
Make a
Bad women's
performance.
anatomy.
Make a performance check.
Bad
Oh,
women's
performance check.
Yeah, to see how your art holds up to scrutiny.
+0, okay.
Natural 20!
Maybe we gotta sell waste of these on things that don't matter.
combat is going to be terrible.
You roll all one.
Yes.
All right, so Babbo looks at it and he kind of squints, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'd do it."
So,
He's
I don't
keeping everything
know
together
this.
though,
Did-
right? There's nothing happening.
Is he shuffling
druid is
on?
using-
Oh yeah, no,
Make
he's not.
pornographic material.
This isn't the right place for
Sure.
such things.
Okay.
He does have
Okay.
a semblance of decency. He's
Okay.
not,
Again.
he goes to the places where he hires
Everybody's
people
got
to
their
help him
things.
learn.
All right.
All right.
Good to know.
Well, he's gonna head out and go run errands that are important for Sable Guard logistics. Or
I'm going to
whatever.
explain to him that he probably needs to stay somewhat sober for the rest of the night.
I'll give my best shot.
Go guard the guild house.
Vesper, when he walks past you, he nudges you with his elbow. When you look at him, he's going, and he heads out.
So, mandatory substance abuse counseling?
After that, Pasha and Alizarin basically wait another hour or so, and then they're like, "Hey, this is probably a bust." And Alizarin says, "You know, if I had attempted to murder somebody, I would hide out for days, if not weeks. Like I would stay really low."
Yeah, but
Can
they're
you-
dumb.
Can the two of you keep your ear to the ground?
Oh, sure,
These people
absolutely.
pop up.
Like
Tell us so we can go
when they
talk to
when
them.
they burned our guild hall, that was money that came out of the guild coffers, and that money in the guild coffers should have been partially mine. So ipso facto, they were messing with my money.
I
And
see.
I don't like them. I don't like them for that reason alone. Plus, they've already attacked one of our guildmates. They could attack any of us at any time now. So I'm seeing this as a matter of self-preservation.
So
as soon
when
as
they-
I know something, you'll know something.
Excellent.
We also bring in a lot of money, so it kind of messes with your money. It messes with us.
Well, we'll make sure to solve this problem.
And in a week or so, my all of our ale will be brewed.
Excellent.
Can I ask the bartender or somebody who works here if they've seen Thunderstone or if they know perhaps where I could speak to him?
Sure.
All right.
Make a. Let's do a persuasion check and an insight check.
Okay. Yeah. That's an 8 on persuasion and a 7 on, an 8 on insight.
Good news. They're apparently easily convinced.
All right, so you go down to the bartender, which it's not really a bar. They serve stew and ale, one kind of ale, house ale. You get some stew for this much. You get some ale for this much. You walk up to the bartender and you say, "Pardon me, I am from the mean streets of Arragas, and I'm looking for some bros who crossed me the wrong way."
Hello, fellow rapscout.
Greetings,
I
sir
too
and or madam.
know what it is to be
Whichever you
criminal.
identify.
I'm taking a break from my nefarious ways for a bowl of stew. Yeah, so you get about, I don't know, 13, 14 words into your act, and the guy just walks away from you.
And you can't tell why.
Yeah, you're just like, well, that's a dead end. You head back up to your guild mates, and it's only then that they inform you that they've already canvassed this place like a dozen times today, and nobody's seen anyone from Thunderstone.
Well,
And if they have, they're not talking about it.
They seem to be very well liked in this.
Yeah, are you guys going to tell these two what you found out about them basically being neighborhood mafia types?
Yeah. They're very well liked.
Yeah, so
they take care of the people.
They take care of their people.
oh, okay.
So these guys are not.
My brilliant performance wasn't going to...
It was brilliant.
We're still going to rain down holy vengeance on their heads, but they do seem like otherwise okay dudes.
I mean, I heard the story, but
Should-
is it really a priority?
Should we look for Romeo?
Yes, I think that's the first thing we should
I think
do.
the baby
Yeah.
snatcher is a priority.
And one is within days, I believe.
Vengeance
From what I
committee.
think I remember, there was like the trade supposed to go on, and
He didn't mention anything about days.
okay, I'm just making that up then.
You thought you remembered something, but then you just didn't.
Yeah, I wasn't going to correct you because I kind of like the unreliable narrator thing going on. So
Do we have any virgin-y centric holidays?
yeah, turns out
All of them.
You're the
Virgin
religious
Day.
one. I don't know.
I mean, that, like, is the moon...
I rolled a
You
critical
full?
20. Do we have any virgin-centric
Oh my
holidays?
God.
we don't have any
I just rolled a
virgin-centric
20.
holidays, but you guys do know that the
It's a
Galuna,
holiday that's more pagan-y than the other.
yeah, the Galuna festival,
Is there
which
moon
is
gonna
which
be enslaved or
is
planets
called
aligned?
I had it written down on my big. Basically, in the first Luna Day of the month of whatever I can't remember which moon it is. It's like a time. It's like basically a time of unrestrained merrymaking among consenting adults. So it's not virgin centric per se, but it is very much a free love time in the city. And so a lot of virgins
End up being less virgins.
right. A lot of virgins will
when
intentionally.
is that from where we are now?
It's already passed. It's at the beginning of the year. You guys are in the middle of
When's
the
the
summer.
next
Yeah.
gloaming happening?
You don't know. That's something that happens. You don't know you're in a gloaming until the morning of.
Oh.
It's not something. So it's not like an actual. Just to step out of character a little bit. It's not like an actual scientific thing. Like the tilt of the planet is just
Right.
so that
It's
it
just
happens
like a
every
dead
16
time.
days. There's just randomly. There are just mornings when the moon has already gone down and the sun has not yet come up. And so neither Galuna nor Solion are in the sky, and that period is known as a gloaming.
Mm-hmm.
And it's considered a terrible time to be out and about or be born or be doing anything, really. A lot of people, superstition-wise, because this is not backed up in the religion, think that Ix, the goddess of death, personally comes to get people who died during the gloaming, as opposed to just sending one of her angels of death. So
Oh, I hope I died during the gloaming.
yeah,
Right, you get a personal touch.
I want to like
yeah.
head honcho.
Get the
Someone
top
punch
bus.
that Ix right in the mouth.
No.
My mama.
Don't want to be dirty.
Okay. Everybody make a perception check.
Can I just keep that natural 20? No.
17.
I got critical 9.
Dirty 9.
I got dirty 9.
I didn't roll a
22.
Okay.
12.
Okay.
Like
As
4?
I'm sitting there, like, spinning
Okay.
around my staff.
No. 5.
Kethra and Liliana, somebody. So people are coming in and leaving at, constantly throughout the day, right? They're coming for meal times and they're coming to hang out and get drunk and have cheap stew and all that kind of stuff. Well after dark, almost near Lauds. Someone comes in
That's
who's
very tight.
wearing, someone comes in who's just wearing a little too much hood. It's midsummer, right? So it's not raining outside. It's not sunny anymore. So the two of you basically just ping. You're just like, why does that guy look like he's in disguise? So
I look around for Vesper.
okay, Vesper is sitting there,
Just checking.
just doing this.
This just looks like a
He's
Vesper
not holding a
stack.
napkin or anything, but he's just touching the corners of his mouth and like,
No.
I am in a nice restaurant. He keeps muttering something about 5 stars. Everyone in your guild is with you, with the exception of Alizarin, Babo, and Pasha,
Got it.
who have all left by now. So all 5 of you are there. Obviously, Vance and Kurt are off running the guild or whatever. Anyway, the two of you see this person and then make eye contact with each other. Like, you both know, like,
Shady?
is that guy weird? Yeah, like, do you think that guy's weird? Because I think that
I
guy's
think
weird.
I guess we're.
All right, so you guys...
Don't you think that's weird, Liliana? That looks really weird.
Yeah,
What's weird?
it's midsummer.
What
Are you guys going to point out...
See that guy over there?
Or I guess it's the end of summer. It's the hot...
See that guy in the hood?
That does seem weird.
Could you not? Nope. That's nope.
What? He's getting Liliana's staff off of his shoulder.
I mean, no, it's
Like a
a spear. It's a throwing spear.
Yeah. Okay,
Seems
so
really weird.
you guys
Yeah,
tell everybody.
yeah.
Okay, so you point him out. All right, so
Right in the shoulder.
were you guys gonna
let's not
wait
do that.
until he sits down? Are you gonna go down and confront him right now? Are you gonna see what he does? Are you gonna see if others join? Like, what's the plan? Because basically, you guys
I
all
watched
now
for
see
a
this
second.
guy,
We'll watch.
and you're far enough away that you could literally have a band meeting right now and just be like, okay, go cover the doors, and we're gonna confront him at the counter, and
Well,
I
or
can
whatever your plan is.
accidentally
First thing
bump
I'm gonna
into
do
him.
is I'm going to cast, well, not really cast, I'm going to use Divine Sense to see if he is evil. Or a demon. Or undead.
Okay, so you cast your divine sense and you concentrate and you give the whole place the hairy eyeball.
Yeah.
There are no celestials, fiends, or undead within your visual acuity,
That's nice to know.
within your grasp. Yeah. So you can see him. He does not register as
Wicked.
any of those particular things.
Well, he could still be like chaotic evil. You know, he's just not.
I know, right?
Right.
Fifth edition really put an elbow in that monkey wrench.
I can't murder him, though, with an extra smite die.
Oh.
if he's not a fiend or
Yes, if
undead.
he-
Yeah.
That's right.
You and your
I'll go
sliding.
walk past and accidentally
It's
bump
cool.
into him.
It is very cool.
I'm with you, Arister. It's cool.
Smiting's pretty cool.
But, everybody looks like a male.
I'll walk past him towards the door and accidentally
Maybe you
bump
don't
into
understand
him.
how cool smiting
Okay,
is.
make a stealth check and a performance check.
We're given a book at first day of Paladin school called Everybody Smites.
I'm covering your door.
Uh, So I'm just going to pass that along to you.
Take
It's
him
a bit
to
of, it's a bit of
Guardian.
a
15 still.
children's book,
Okay.
kind of.
I don't want something to happen.
It's got a lot of
Something By the way, I was thinking.
Right.
Help me really
Fair enough.
understand how to smite and how.
Okay.
How to
12
feel about
performance.
having trouble
Airster, we're
Leanna
trying.
has 100%.
Okay.
struggling to smile.
Airster, we need to pay.
So you basically get down there before the rest of your party knows that you've moved off to go down there. While you guys are watching, this guy approached the counter. Suddenly, Vesper's down there, and he just walks by him and just does that whole shoulder bang thing. And Vesper's like, "Oh, sorry, it was a total accident." So everybody make a perception check now.
Oh god.
Not bad.
Oh no, wasted all my
That was the
20.
worst one.
20.
Okay.
8
Um,
plus 7
3.
is 15.
Okay.
18.
Okay.
8.
8.
3.
3.
I see right up his
Okay. So you bump into this guy and it could be the blood loss, you're not really sure, but you get confused and actually apologize to the dude next to him that you didn't actually touch. You're like, "Oh, sorry, man." And then you keep walking. You don't recognize either of them. 15, 18, and 20. 20? Okay. So the three of you recognize him almost right away as being part of the original group that attacked you guys on the street. He was the young kid that you basically let go and said, "Do something better with your life."
No, Airster.
Like you recognize, you're like, "Hey, I know that kid."
Maybe
I
he's
tried
doing
to-
something better with his life.
I tried to turn his
Maybe
life.
we could talk to him.
Turn his
Have we
life
seen him
No.
since that
We
night?
Thunderstone it.
I
Thunderstone.
have not, but I am going to walk up and put my hand on his shoulder and go, "Hey."
Okay.
We just saw Spider Universe, whatever Spider-Verse.
Into
last
the
night.
Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
The.
Yeah. Yeah.
I will very quickly
It's a
remind
classy
him.
move.
We haven't seen him with the Thunderstone people, right? Right? I think he took your advice. Give him a chance.
We'll see.
Give him a chance. I'll be mad.
He will
Okay.
be judged.
So
by giving-
you guys get down there
and her
and you surround him.
I have
Well, we don't
authority.
surround him. I don't want to like.
I'm just gonna do the
by the
shoulder.
door.
Yeah.
Do I remember his name?
Okay, Makari moves to the door. You don't remember his name because no names were really exchanged during the initial Thunderstone fight, except that they were all shouting Thunderstone every once in a while. And you know that the leader is Thunderstone because he actually said, "I am Thunderstone." All right, so when he sees you guys, you can tell that after he bumped into Vesper, he was trying to piece together, like, where do I know that guy? And then when you guys get there and when you put your hand on his shoulder and he looks into your face, like you see the recognition dawn and then just the color just drains out of his face. And he's got like a little linen hood on, like sort of draped over his head and shoulders.
No, okay. I'm gonna do that.
Don't be scared.
Don't be weird, Airster.
So,
Yeah, don't be scared. Don't be weird.
how's it going?
He starts to cry a little.
Do you remember me?
Yes,
Or what did I tell you last time I saw you?
lead a better life.
And did you?
Yes.
It's
Don't lie to me.
It's
I'm just gonna disbelieve him.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna try to tell.
Yeah,
I
none
just-
of you believes him.
I just assume he's lying.
Or you don't believe him for sure.
8.
You're still with the Thunderstone gang, aren't you?
He looks at the two of you because you're at the door and you have moved to the door, right? And
Yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just the three of you. All right. So he looks at the three of you and he says, "Please, I didn't have anything to do with today. I didn't want to do that, and I didn't have anything to do with it. Please don't hurt me."
I'm not going to hurt you, my friend. However, you're going to have to tell me some things.
I'll help you in any way that I can as long as you don't hurt me.
You should probably start off by telling us where Thunderstone holds up. Is not a place that I'm familiar with.
He has a campsite outside of the city.
Really interesting Can you
Cool.
show me on this map?
Yeah, kind of.
Cool, I can find
He basically points to a place that's west of the Renaud family compound. You remember you guys went north along the road and then you ended up cutting off already kind of to the west. It's further west. Like basically that there's just this huge sort of pie piece of undeveloped land. He points to like a little area and he's like, it's right around here.
Great.
But you don't want to go there
Oh, okay.
because the whole gang is holed up out there, 20 or 30 men.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a lot. But
Yeah.
really, I'm only going there to see one guy. So, is it?
Oh, he's like, it doesn't really work that way.
Well,
Like-
so do you think the others will try to stop me?
Well, what are you going there to do?
It depends on how I'm received. But I find it highly likely that I will probably be killing some people.
There's
Yes, they'll
there's a whole
stop
bunch
you.
of them. I don't think that's a good idea.
Why don't you let us worry about that?
He's had the camp for a couple of years now, so I mean it's fortified and everything.
Yeah, that's okay.
Well,
Let's find out if he knows anything about the
Let's get some barrels of pitch.
baby thing.
And,
do
alright,
you-
I'm not in this conversation.
Well, remember that they were like one from,
So,
from what's his face?
that merchant that you were after, do you remember anything about that?
Yeah, I mean, Thunderstone talks about him all the time
Why?
because he owes Thunderstone money,
Really?
and he did something really bad, and Thunderstone has taken it personally, sort of like with you guys.
What did he do? I'm not over there. I just realized I'm over the door.
Yeah, no.
What
I'm
did
like,
he
I
do?
don't know. We're about to go
What did he do?
He turns around and shouts across the room, "Mind your own goddamn business!"
She was just speaking for Liliana.
He hurt Thunderstone's family.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But Thunderstone doesn't like to talk about it.
Man, that's sure is a bummer when people you're close to get, viciously attacked.
I agree.
When your place gets burned down. And...
I didn't have anything to do with that either. I've been
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about.
no.
So you would know
Liliana,
who actually held the torch?
No, I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, but
I
you've
told
heard
you I
about
don't want to.
You have heard about it.
This
Who did
is-
you hear about it?
Yeah, some guys were laughing and talking about
Some
it.
guys.
Yeah,
How many guys, and what did they look like, and what were their names?
Important.
I don't know. Their names are Hook and Badger, and
Hook and Badger, and
he names off a bunch of code names.
okay.
Alright, sweetie.
Well,
And he says, they were just trying to impress Thunderstone.
well, right now you're trying to impress me,
Is
and
it
if
working?
you fail, things are going to go very poorly for you.
Look, I've been thinking a lot since that day, and I won't do nothing that hurts people,
Smart boy.
which is why I'm still here and not out at the campsite with everybody else, because I knew what they were going to do, and I didn't want any part of it, so I hid out all day. And now that they're gone, I'm going to get a bowl of stew and then go hide out some more.
Well, I appreciate your candor. Do I think he's lying about hiding?
Roll insight.
What is insight?
It's
I
wisdom.
got a 9.
He seems to be telling the truth.
19.
Yeah, you both get the
Seems
sense
okay.
that he's telling the truth because, this would all. There's a real easy way that you could verify this.
Yeah.
If Vesper looked 9 guys in the face, you could call Vesper over and say, "Is this one of the guys that stabbed you?"
No, I believe him.
Okay.
Okay, son.
My name's not Son.
Well,
It's-
you haven't given us your name, have you?
You didn't ask. You just started threatening me.
I'm I'm not threatening you.
No, actually, Arister just started threatening you.
I
He
did.
does
Yeah,
that
is
to
it- is it
everybody.
I did
your
start
boss?
threatening you.
He does that to
No.
everybody. No.
Oh.
No.
I'm very cross about my friend getting attacked and my place being burned. I
But
trust
he
that
didn't
you understand.
do that.
Yeah, I mean,
And you're
we all loved
friends.
Reaper, so I know how you feel.
understand.
I don't know
tried
what
to
happened
kill
to
him.
Reaper.
We
Other
don't
than
know.
that, he was maybe susceptible to his attack.
Like
more
maybe
than
he got an
average person.
infection later down the line, but he was 100% alive whenever we left. He was checked by a cleric and a druid.
Well, that's not what Thunderstone thinks.
Well, I
We
can't
know.
change what Thunderstone thinks.
We're
And neither
we're
can
definitely
you.
past that point.
If you are scared of retaliation from Thunderstone, you come over to Sable Guard, okay? And we will.
Thunderstone and I made a sacred pact
I
to
can't
end
do
this in the dueling arena.
Well,
Yeah,
and he
that.
broke it.
yeah, he kind of went back on his word.
And
He
I-
did some shady stuff.
I did make a blood oath to Grimnir, saying that I would see this thing through to the end. And
You really don't
it's
want
not
to see him
over.
in that.
So I'm not done.
What? Hey guys, side huddle. What? Where are we going with this? What are we doing here?
Well, I don't know if we can let this guy go.
We can let this guy
Let
go.
this guy go.
What do you think
Don't
he's
be
going
a
to run
dick.
and tell Thunderstone I'm coming?
Well, if he does,
Yeah, he
you
probably
could
is.
follow
But
him
you know,
True.
to the campsite.
yeah, I'll just sneak around behind him. He'll
Well, that's
never.
why I would recommend that you go back to our side of it.
No, didn't I tell you, Catherine?
I think we
Everyone
should
in
go hang out at the
Thunderstone
Paladin Order.
wears a
Maybe
belt
pick up
now
a
that
few
holds
things.
2 brooms off behind them.
Ah.
So whenever they walk around,
Or
there's
you
just
could
like
go-
loose brooms, just like
No,
sweeping back and
I'm
forth.
not hanging out with that though. Maybe Pasha? And could watch him for a little while we go and settle things. I don't know.
Tell you what, I got a place for you to hide out.
Where?
And after I'm done with today's business, I will come check on you, and you better be there.
Can we go get my mom and my sister?
Yes, sure.
It's gonna be Winky Pink Bottoms, right? It's
Definitely not going to be
Okay.
anything.
Um,
I'm not even allowed in there.
It's the only
Where
other
would
place
you
we
want to
hid
be?
somebody.
Where would I want to be?
No, I said, nor would you want to.
Nor would I
be.
want to be. No, yeah, no.
I mean, we don't want anything coming back on you. We
But-
don't want him assuming that we got information from you and then coming after you to kill you. That would be really, really bad. And so,
You can hang out at the Paladin Order Hall
oh yeah, that'd be cool.
with my boss / mentor.
You're not like a real bad fighter. You could learn something.
Catherine giggles like that is not out of character.
He would be a better fighter just by walking through the door.
That's unnecessary.
Have you been through Paladin school? It's a very rigorous.
No.
Barrel rolling 101
Yeah.
was brutal on my back.
I mean, you're like drenched in metal from head to toe, so just
Yeah.
having to learn to carry that crap around.
And then barrel rolling it.
okay, he agrees, but you get the impression that he's agreeing because he thinks he doesn't really have a choice. I mean,
That's
if he
okay.
says no, you guys are going to beat him up or
That's
or worse.
Or hunt him down and
No.
assume he's
And-
betrayed us.
No.
Yeah,
Or is
I'm
that
sick of getting betrayed, you guys.
I know, Arragas, city of betrayers.
right? I'm done getting betrayed. Everybody
Hey.
seems to have an
Don't
agenda.
trigger me with the word betrayal.
And I'm here being
Yeah.
a paladin, trying to not
He
betray
seems to
people.
think
The only thing worse than the
wrong
betrayal
things.
is the corruption and the chaos.
Starting to think Batman had the right idea.
Okay, so he goes with you. I mean, are all 5 of you going? Like, are you guys all marching as a little unit?
I can take him.
Sure.
Unless everybody wants to go and huddle so as not to be attacked.
Well, I mean, we already know that Thunderstone prefers 9-to-1 odds, so.
True.
Yeah, I'd say we stick together.
This
Yeah.
guy did rat him out.
On the way, I'm skipping behind, and random rocks, I will put the name Thunderstone on it, cast Shillelagh, and go.
And explode them.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I've got a really, really, really strong staff now, so I just like need to hit stuff.
Right. You're just
That's
you know,
reasonable.
testing it out, experimenting with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right.
Can you put Thunderstone's actual likeness on the side?
I can.
There you go. Make them his head, and
I
then
can. I
Okay.
can even transport them, I don't know, like 15 feet, I think it is, and just like have it drop down and be like, bam!
All right. So you guys go into basically deeper into Longdale,
Take off.
and it's a low sec
So,
place. I mean, it's not quite the docks, and it's not the promenade, the Strand.
It's a little slummy.
But it's I mean, there are people out here who are all squatting in the same building. You know, 10, 15 people squatting in the same building, and they're just like sleeping on the porch and sleeping on the
It's like a
floor.
workhouse area.
Yeah, it's a lot of areas of the city didn't recover very well from the attacks. The very wealthy areas of the city recovered within 5 to 6 months. Everyone else is still struggling to rebuild, even though it's been 9 years now, right? You guys get to the young man's house, and his mother uses his name. It's a Joey.
A Joey.
A Joey.
Okay.
She
a
says,
Joey or Joey or
a Joey.
a Joey.
Yeah.
So the singular Joey.
You know, like Amanda.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a Joey.
I thought you meant like
Unique.
it's a baby kangaroo or
It's no, that's no.
his name is a baby kangaroo.
His name is a Joey. And she says, "What's going on?" And he said, "It's okay, Mom. Just pack up some food and a little bit of money, and we need to go with these people."
To safety.
Yeah, when you say that, the mom's squints at you, and you get the distinct impression she does not believe you.
That's a paladin
He's in
and a
his palace.
priest.
I am in Paladin.
And yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's also almost vigil, which is literally the midnight. And you guys are showing up to their house and be like, "Come with us."
Polish my Paladin.
Madame, will you please
Okay.
accompany us? And I
So,
pressed into tab with my.
Don't worry about the impending murder.
Actually, Vesper probably should be the one to talk to his mom.
he's not letting Vesper talk to his mom. You guys all showed up with him, and he said, "Mom, grab sis and get some food and some money. We're leaving." And you guys start walking towards the Paladin Hall,
Yep.
the Order of the Shield Hall. Okay, so while you guys are walking, eventually the mom starts to sort of not really open up, but she just starts telling you guys that, you know, times have been hard and Thunderstone has his faults, but he takes care of people, and, you know, nobody, you know, it's the reason it's safe to walk the streets of Longdale at night is because Thunderstone is around, and whenever someone is starving for food, Thunderstone finds a way to get them some. And, you know, yeah, he's kind of a violent man and he loses his temper, but he's good for the people. And, you know, he only robs rich people coming through. Like, Millipole won't come help us, the rich people won't come help us, we can't get any funding, we can't get any food, because nobody gives two rats' asses about Longdale. But whenever it's convenient to walk through, well, then all of a sudden our streets are good enough, our buildings are good enough, you know, and Thunderstone just has a problem with that. Like, so he, you know, does what he does to help us.
What a
So
saint.
I hope, you know, I hope you don't judge my son, Joey, too harshly. It's not a baby kangaroo. Because there isn't a lot of work for young men in this area of town.
I see.
So please don't put him in jail.
Oh, no, I won't put him in jail.
We're
But
not gonna
Thunderstone
hurt
and I
him.
need to have a talk.
We don't want your son getting caught in the cross
Crossfire.
sorting.
Cross poking.
Yes.
No. I said it out loud, and then I was like, nope, that was a mistake. I should not have said crossbow.
discussions.
All right.
Hey, look, there's lots of good jobs for young men. If they're gonna join a gang to fight,
Hashtag elf privilege.
I mean, if they're gonna
I won't
fight,
deny anything.
they can join a guild. Or
When was the last time
appreciate
you worked?
Yeah,
in the mines?
I probably feel that same way too if I had a big old bag of leftover foodstuffs on my hip. If I could afford to compost my leftovers.
I mean, I don't get the whole money thing, but
Yeah.
Well, some of us have to follow a half insane druid out into the swamp for a couple of days to dig up roots for money. Right, that's the point.
I mean,
Technically, they were worth a lot of money.
they were.
They were.
I mean,
That's why I went.
one
By
root.
the way, I kind of need to go back out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass for a while.
Okay, I'll go by myself.
All right, so you eventually get to the Order of the Shields Paladin Hall.
Yes, drop that kid off.
It's a stone affair. It's well lit. There are paladins patrolling. The banners are hanging. I mean, you can see it from 2 blocks away because it's that well lit.
Is it like a fortify, like a chapter house kind of a thing?
Yeah, it's like
Military
almost like a
church.
Roman temple. So there are bastions and there are columns in the front, and it was built with defense in mind. Weirdly enough, I mean it's kind of in the middle of the city, but
Right.
This is one of the places where you guys actually train and you attend services.
It doesn't
And
have a
if this-
moat, but if we were fighting street to street, this would be a good place to.
This would be an
set
excellent
up
headquarters.
fence.
Yep. That is exactly what they built it for.
Right.
When you get there, Grenadon Azildorn is there. It's late. You're kind of surprised that he's still up, but not as surprised as he is that you're still up.
Okay.
Because you.
Anyway,
you
he's
tomorrow?
yeah he's not wearing any armor. I mean he's dressed out of his armor, but he's still wearing his what I would call street clothes. So he could go out. Like he's not in his bed clothes or anything like that. But and of course he's reading one of Givney's prayer books and meditating over the strategies and stuff inside. And
Grin, my friend.
Aristo, it's good to see you at this late hour. You've brought all of your friends with you, I see.
I have. But really, I've mostly brought a Joey here and his family because I feel that they need the protection of Givney for the evening. And further, that a Joey has some promise in a paladin order if he can manage to listen.
Gren looks at you like, really? Like you're gonna bring me a raw recruit right off the street on midnight on a Luna day of all days?
That was when you met me. Except I was drunk.
Fair. That's a fair point. All right. So he
And covered in blood.
So he looks
Not mine.
at your 3. I don't want to call them prisoners. I'll say escortees.
Wards.
Your wards, yeah, your 3 wards. He when you say that a Joey has the strong arm of a paladin or whatever, he looks Joey up and down, and says, "Well, I'll judge that. I'll leave my own judgments for that." He greets the woman with utmost respect, the mother, as if she were a minor noble. And then he... yay! Woo! Thanks, Aquachab. And then he turns to the young girl, who is probably 8 or 9, and he asks her name, and she says that her name is Levy. And he says, "Well, Levy, I happen to have some honey cake left over from a ceremony this morning, and I have eaten so much that I'm about to burst, and I was just wondering if you had any room." And she immediately, like, all of her awe and fear at seeing all these people standing around just suddenly melts away, and she's like, "Yeah, honey cakes." Like, and you get the impression that she probably hasn't had honey cake in a long time, right? mean, she is not old enough to have been born before the Battle of the Boneyard.
Right.
So it's possible that she's never had honey cake.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, Longdale is not a rich area of town. He turns to you and says, I give you my word they shall be taken care of. How are you? Are you in need of any assistance?
Oh, I'm doing well. I'm well.
Are you keeping to your duties? Are you patrolling?
Yes.
Kettle laughs at that.
I've been admittedly a little distracted, but I feel like that will be cleared up by the end of the evening.
I mean, you've got a friend in the head of the Holly Bridge.
He probably doesn't know what that means.
I would make it look good.
Oh.
It's
All right.
Pretty hard to make me look good.
diplomatic.
The power has already gone to your head.
It's just weird.
When you say that, a golden bell starts dinging furiously so that she can't hear you saying.
I got a promotion, guys.
All right, so he says, well, I look forward to seeing you bright and early tomorrow for our first parade for the vigil.
Right.
It starts here at the temple, and we are going all the way to the palace, so you should be wearing, and he kind of looks you up and down, a crisper uniform
I have
than
just
you are
the
right
one.
now. Okay.
He has a super expensive fancy uniform.
That's right.
You get the feeling that he's not talking about wearing your dress uniform for the balls. He's talking about
Not
cleaning
like
this
scrub.
mess up,
Yeah,
so
'cause
that putting
I
a
haven't-
crease back in your tabard and putting a shine on your
I
armor.
didn't clean myself up post battle. Like
Yeah.
I just came from that sand battle that we fought.
Oh,
Yeah.
Things are still a little gritty.
Well, technically, it's been all day.
Yeah,
It is nighttime.
I still got some boots.
Yeah,
Anyway.
fast prestidigitation.
My point is that his subtle chastisement is not lost on you.
I'll cast mending on any little holes.
Okay.
You got something to clean me up around this area? Does it work on beard stubble?
I have a sword.
Well, I think I got
I'm
that
working
part.
on my sword play. Very
Vicarious shave
precise.
is an
Close.
exhilarating experience.
This is very close. Smooth as a baby's bottom.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good job.
Pirouette.
All right, so Granadon escorts the three of them into the Order of the Shield Paladin Hall.
All right.
And the five of you are now free to pursue whatever you're planning to pursue.
Okay, guild meeting. Do we go burn Thunderstone's camp? Metaphorically?
Maybe not.
Yeah, we're back on the metaphorical.
I would like to probably pursue Ramiel. I feel
Vesper,
like
don't you have a vested interest in making sure Thunderstone's camp is metaphorically burned to the ground?
Yes,
Yeah, but
but
why
I would
does
like
he
to
come
catch him when
after us?
he's not expecting it.
Good point.
And why is he getting all obsessive? It's because he thinks we killed somebody. Maybe Ramiel killed him. I don't know.
He does seem to be,
Well,
He seems real bad.
in what I should say is military parlance, a dick.
an official
Big
Paladin, Psalms 32:8, how to spot a dick. Okay, so go ahead and roll intelligence checks. And for those of you that have proficiency in history, go ahead and make that. You get a proficiency bonus.
Ooh, nice. But we're not rolling history. We're rolling. Oh, yes.
Yeah, just
It's
roll a
all the
history
same
check.
thing,
Yeah, just roll a history check
Sweet.
if you got proficiency.
19.
Aw,
17.
Okay, good.
8.
Okay,
12.
okay,
I got an 18.
okay.
Some genius.
All right, so
I don't know city shit.
you guys. So just to recap, based on what a Joey told you, you realize now that
It's me, a Joey.
hey, it's a Joey.
It's a joke.
Please, I go by my street name, my gang name. It's a Prego.
It's a
all right.
kangaroo.
All right, so you guys understand now that when you were protecting Ramiel from Thunderstone during your first
We
mission,
were doing a
We were
bad
protecting
thing.
a baby killer.
right? He well, not a baby killer, but you remember Thunderstone saying, this is a personal matter between me and him. He owes me money. You guys just need to stay out of it. And your response was, we were hired by him to be in it. So he already associates you guys with Ramiel. And then you guys killed one of his dudes. Like, you killed one of his people in a street brawl.
No,
So
we didn't.
you guys are... Well, that's his claim.
Right.
That's what he believes. He believes that you guys are working with Ramiel and that you're willing to kill his men.
Well, let's just all stay in a zone of truth. And then
So,
believe us.
right, but that's what I'm saying is it's not necessarily him being a dick. It's just that from his perspective, you guys were either hired or inserted yourselves into
Right.
a personal matter
No, I
between
get
him and someone who hurt his family, and now one of his men is dead over it. So
No, I get that.
yeah,
That's why we're going after the baby killer first.
Thunderstone is
Yeah,
upset.
let's bring him a
Which
peace
is why
offering.
we're like, he's totally justified in being all angry and stuff. He's wrong.
Okay, so with Ramiel,
baby snatchy, selly guy.
I mean,
yeah, you
I
guys
am
throwing
neutral
around the
bit.
term baby killer. I don't want you to remember Ramiel as a baby killer.
He's
There's-
just a
you have zero
snatcher.
evidence
He's a baby smuggler.
that Ramiel
Right.
has killed any babies. You have zero evidence. Okay.
I mean, technically, him and Julie both have the same title as a baby smuggler. Both of you are currently smuggling baby.
Truth.
Okay, so it is now, it's after vigils. It's not quite Compline. So the moon is still high in the sky. Galuna is looking down on you in the city of Arragas and showering everybody in the soft white blue glow of
And
her
it
gaze.
is midnight.
It's after midnight.
After midnight.
It's so vigils is when the moon is exactly directly above, at the midpoint of the evening. Compline is when it's about halfway to setting. You guys are in the between time.
What time do I have... Because Kettle would know this. What time do I have to do crap tomorrow?
You probably don't have to do crap until later in the morning.
Okay, then I'm good.
But just so you guys know, everyone except for the elves, you guys have stuff to do
Yeah, we
during
do
the
have
vigil.
stuff to do tomorrow.
I mean, as ex-Millipole, you're expected to show up to like the Vets Club and all this other stuff, and you guys go around. Because the vigil isn't just taking watches and like ceremonial watches and parades and stuff. Like, it's a period where everybody helps rebuild in the Habitat for Humanity sort of a fashion, right? So you guys will show up tomorrow, you'll run a parade, and then you guys will be split into groups that are going to literally go out and help somebody rebuild their house or rebuild their business.
Well, I've got 3 things on my side in order to pull an all-nighter. 1, I have +2 con.
Yep.
2, we've previously established coffee exists in this universe.
It is correct.
Number
What the
3,
sirens call.
I have no caffeine tolerance whatsoever.
Yeah. So as soon as I even smell them,
I would probably want to recover from my altercation
A
and
lot. I've had a big day.
I just want vengeance.
start
I mean-
fresh and
I want to get to the bottom of
I
this.
mean, I'm probably okay for another hour or 2, but then I gotta go to bed.
hit up Pinless Point.
We did all eat a bunch of stew.
Yeah.
I feel as the party's down.
so let's review.
And you
some
saved
of-
a young man's life.
I did.
Let's review some of the leads that you guys have. You
Right.
know that the woman that Ramiel eventually visited, she lives in Pimless Point, which is to the west of where you guys are right now. Or no, that's not true. It's to the west of Longdale, which is Thunderstone's neighborhood, right? You guys are actually back over at the Order of the Shield, which is off to the northeast, okay? But you know, like, if you guys went there, you could probably eventually find your way back to her house the same way you found your way back to the intersection in the streets where you guys actually had the fight, okay? You know that Ramiel works for or is at least in some ways in charge of an orphanage. So with a little bit of research and a little bit of asking around, it might not be difficult to find out which orphanage it is. You know that Thunderstone is in a camp to the northwest of Arragas city limits. And what else? You know that Ramiel met with Count Vortigern at at Grimnir's theater while the three of you were down on the floor fighting.
So I have an ethical question.
Okay, I'm listening.
So if we were to get this Ramiel guy and discover that he was a baby smuggler, if we turn him over to Thunderstone, knowing that Thunderstone would probably do some untoward things to him that like we wouldn't because, you know, we're good people, is that a bad thing?
I don't know. I'm chaotic.
So-
I feel like that's solidly in chaotic.
If you...
I mean,
Okay.
I'm cool with that if he's got it coming.
Right, but like,
It's
you know,
foiling a chaotic plot.
we're subverting
That's all
the law, which I'm cool with because I'm neutral. Remember, so that's important to remember.
I don't get laws.
But is it bad? To
Well,
turn this guy over?
They may not kill
You
him.
you are neutral, good, but you did take an oath to give me that you would respect legitimate authority, and that includes the law.
True.
Okay, so from an ethics standpoint, if you do find evidence that Ramiel is some sort of a baby kidnapper or baby smuggler or is otherwise selling babies
Right.
to people,
I think it's
you would most likely turn him into Millipole to face some sort of justice because you would want the orphanage to be shut down. If they're involved, you would want them to be shut down.
Unless
if
I
you
think
just
he's
take
gonna skirt justice somehow with his connections.
Yeah.
right. If you
he's friends with the Baron, dude.
Well, since
Yeah,
it's
it's
just a
pretty
matter
high
of
on the list.
jurisdiction, then. So since Thunderstone is the law within that Longbridge place or whatever, Longdale, you just pull them across the limits.
I guess that's
and you're
true.
like, "Where's Millipole? I can't find." Well, these authorities shall do.
I mean,
Oh, hey,
He is a
Open
type of-
rec
how you
center.
doing?
he is a type of authority in his area.
Yes. Doesn't have honey cake.
I would
but-
never
I feel like that's pretty
tell
solid.
you what to do.
I feel like
I
that's
will-
pretty
I will
solid.
just report to you the consequences of your choices.
To be fair, though, I mean, we took him to the Thunderstone camp. They are outside the city limits, so
Well-
technically he's the law in that camp.
In my
That's
view,
Well,
if he's hurting babies, he can just suffer and it'll be okay.
Well, I mean, that's a very chaotic good thing to say, but
well, and not just that, but you know how elves are.
right.
There's like
Reset.
your current life is shitty. We're just gonna start you over.
Yeah.
Make better choices.
And then he'll come back as a bug. It'll be.
All right. Well, let's track this kill down.
Okay, so you guys are gonna. So it's way too late in the evening to track him down today. I mean, everybody who would know anything is
All
in
right.
bed and that kind of stuff.
We can go to sleep.
So you guys are heading back.
After the stuff tomorrow, if you've got like some truthy magic, right?
I do have truthy magic, yes.
Yeah, and he's got some like persuasive
Let's
magic.
make sure I have my truthy magic ready.
I can bring some truthy magic too,
Okay.
some charmy magic.
And I can sway people's
Ooh,
hearts
yeah.
and minds with my
And we
natural
can
charisma.
go talk to the
And I'll bring
lady
the pointy
and
stick.
Tennis
Yeah.
Point.
Good job,
and see
yeah.
what-
That'll help,
Roll
Kari.
isolation. Yeah.
we can go talk to the Tennis Point lady and see what was
Talk to her,
going
sorry,
on.
what?
I'm here to refine.
We're gonna talk to the
a
mom who
singular
sold her kid to this guy.
Yeah, and see like what the system is, and you're gonna have to keep your mouth shut.
I'm gonna bring my shame bell
Yeah.
in case she actually
Wait
gets sold
to
kid.
ring it until we like learn all the information because we
Okay.
need to know like what this little like pipeline looks like, right?
All right. Tell you what, we'll all vote on when I ring the shame bell.
Okay. Like as soon as we've got the info, I'll ring with you.
Okay. Well, it's more of a dong, shame type of thing.
I'm just ringing my bell.
Well, the shame bell is much larger.
Game of Thrones.
It's Game of Thrones style.
I know.
It's like a Christmas bell.
I know. You ring it all the time. Other things you just find useful.
I know. I need to start carrying that thing around with me again. It's just so heavy.
So
30 pounds.
as you guys are walking back,
This is my
To
people
Sable
bell.
Okay.
you're ringing your bell in the middle of the night.
Not to be
Like,
confused with the shame bell.
It's quiet.
Every once in a while,
It's a tinkling bell. It's like
Wait, hold on.
it's like wind chimes, but not obnoxious ones.
It makes you feel good and magical inside.
Hmm
It's a good kind of bell.
It is. It's like fairies going.
Unlike the shame bell, which has
Yeah.
the opposite effect.
yeah.
Vroom.
As you guys are passing
Where's that thing of truth?
one of the
Oh, there
numerous
it is.
cemeteries that now exist in Arragas city limits, you hear a man's voice shout for help.
I cast Divine Sense immediately and look around to see if there's any undead.
Okay. What's the range on your Divine Sense? I think
60
it's 60 feet. All right. You don't see any undead.
Perception check.
Okay. You don't see any fiends or celestials.
It's worth a shot.
Perception?
Yeah, I made
18.
a perception.
Yeah. What is it?
It's 17 plus 5.
Okay.
20.
20.
And then there's 18.
Okay.
That's
13.
Okay. All right. So Vesper doesn't immediately see the guy, but the rest of you do, and you see this guy just running as fast as he can, basically through the graveyard along one of the main pathways, right? And he's carrying a torch, but it's out, right? That's why you don't initially see him, right? And he comes running up, and he's panting, and his shirt's been ripped, and he's like, "Help! Please, I need someone to help. Something grabbed Geary and pulled him under the ground. I need help. Can you help me, please?"
Yeah, show us where.
And he's like, "Follow me." And you see him like holding the torch as if it were lit. You don't think that he understands that the torch has gone out. Maybe due to shock.
Before we do that, I'm gonna roll insight to see if this guy is baiting us into a trap.
Okay, roll insight.
Man, I am on.
I pressed to digitize the little flame on
What
the
is insight? I got an 18.
thing.
Okay, here's it.
I can just light
Yeah.
it. I mean,
You got an 18, 19?
18.
18? Okay. If this guy is leading you into a trap, he doesn't know it.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Like
He's like legitimately pissing himself.
yeah, he
Yeah.
looks horrible. He
I
looks
just
very
did a
angry.
19 insight check, so yeah.
All right, let's go find your buddy.
Okay, so you guys all run into the cemetery. And he takes you like through these little gardens and over this little hill thing. And when you get to there's basically an open grave with a bunch of dirt piled up on the side. Okay? And when you get there and look down into the grave, it's empty, but there is basically at the foot of the grave, so opposite the headstone, there is a hole that has collapsed into a tunnel underground. And the guy explains that his name is Podrick, and he and Geary are grave diggers, and they were digging this grave for tomorrow, for someone to be interred tomorrow. And it was Podrick's turn to be down in the hole, basically, shoveling stuff up, and then he's shoveling it into the pile. And he heard Gary scream, and when he looked in there, some sort of a tentacle thing had wrapped itself up around Gary's leg and waist, and it literally just yanked him into that hole. And Gary stopped screaming almost immediately after disappearing into the hole. And
I'm ready to charge in.
Yeah, I'm going
I
to the
don't
hole.
I don't know.
Stop telling us the story.
I don't know what it was, but
Do I know what
Gary's
it was?
got a family.
From the description?
Sure, roll a nature check.
Or unnatured,
Yeah.
because it's unnatured.
Can I roll a chaos check? Do I have that?
19?
What is that?
19. You have heard of several underground predators and some underground scavengers. Due to the fact that this is a graveyard and the fact that the guy described it as a tentacle, it is possible that a carrion crawler has infested the cemetery and is feeding on dead bodies. But most carrion crawlers are not big enough to grab somebody and just yank them under the ground. They're generally about the size of a full-grown adult person's leg, and they come in swarms.
It's a chaos.
They're like a cross between kind of a centipede looking thing and like a lizard looking thing.
Okay, I am doing all this while we're going down. Like, it's a little bit too big to be a carrying color. I don't know. But you guys want me to track it?
Yeah, because it's a chaos monster.
Don't worry, friend. I've had experience killing tentacled things in small places.
please hurry. I think Podrick might be close to death. The way he stopped screaming made it. I don't know. His face was contorted really weird, and there was a weird color in his skin.
Cool. Okay, I slam the staff down, and I cast Bark Skin,
Okay.
which uses 2 charges.
Okay.
And then I turn it into a wolf.
Okay. I get it. Bark skin. Skin.
It just makes my AC.
That's right. It's the staff of dad jokes. Okay. Okay. So when you guys jump down, the hole is only big enough for one person to fit through at a time. So I need to know an exact marching order.
I'll go first.
As a wolf.
Yeah, because I'm tracking it.
Do you have a wolf thing?
Yeah.
I assume Aristar goes next.
Here's a
I'll
wolf
go
thing.
next.
Should I cut this prong off of
I
this?
do have
yes.
a shield.
Okay.
But I just haven't yet. I have another one that's better, but I don't
Is it
really
better?
know it.
All right. So.
That's for my friend. We're going down into another filthy pit.
I'm excited.
Okay. So who's going after Liliana? Immediately after.
Aristar with the shield.
Aristar with the shield. Okay.
Me.
And then Makari with
Then
the
Makari.
And I'll go.
I've got a shield as well, so I'll take up the
That's
back.
right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Little
forget.
sideways wolf. Sorry.
All right. So Liliana. Well, actually, I'll just say everybody. When you guys get into the tunnel is mostly round, and it looks like it's been burrowed.
I'll be a collie.
And you can see that it goes off in
Collie for me.
probably 10 or 15 feet, and then it opens into a small chamber. And when you make it to that chamber, there are dozens of these tunnels under the cemetery.
Can I make a survival check to see if I smell the guy?
What is it with us in tunnels, guys?
Sure.
I feel like
Bad things tend to burrow.
Yeah, they just like tiny cave systems.
That's 18.
18. Okay, yeah, you're pretty sure you can track the Geary.
Yeah.
You can smell the human pee and fear. Okay. All right, so this is where we'll stop, and we'll pick up first thing next session with the fight. As soon as you find this creature,
what if it ends up being a friend?
you will slay it. Oh, Thunderstone! Yeah.
It'll be a friend.
All right, so
Its name's Thunderstone Jr.
yeah, Thunderstone Jr.
It's a crocodile you flush down the toilet.
I gotta prove myself to my dad.
I'll do that later.
Okay. Okay, so we'll stop here.
Okay. Right now.
Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight, and thanks for talking in the chat. Thank you again, Aqua Child, for the subscription. Every little subscription helps. For those of you who haven't subscribed yet, we've got a subscribe button and a donation button up at the top. So if you're feeling particularly generous, you may click either one of those buttons, and we will be very, very happy to welcome you into our super duper fan club. I will eventually be posting a wish list so that anyone who does donate money to our channel knows exactly what that money is going for. So you guys will know when you donate to us exactly how you are helping to make our show better.
Priority one.
They'll see
Map
me.
cam.
Map
Really
cam,
quickly
yeah.
when
Priority
we do
one,
map cam.
fix 4 cams. Yep, that's priority one. But thanks everybody for showing up. I had a really good time. I think that my players had a really good time, and I certainly hope that you guys had a good time. And make sure to tune in next time so that we can see the exciting conclusion to the graveyard battle. What could it be burrowing under all of those gravestones?
Chaos monster.
Yeah, we do believe that there's a chaos
3 more
monster.
divine senses.
Yay! Thank you,
Undead.
Duchess. Woo!
What did Duchess?
She just donated.
Aw.
Okay, thanks, Duchess. All right, everybody, have a good night.
Yes.
And Mom, if you're still watching, I'll see you later.
Bye.
Really?